Alabama voters have, in fact, chosen Democrat Doug Jones, and he is meeting with the press right now. Let's go there in Birmingham.
Despite what people say, despite all of the things that get thrown at you, it was nothing that we didn't fully expect. Most important thing, we've had an opportunity to travel around this state, talking to so many people from so many walks of life, listening to their cares, their concerns, their joys, their happiness, and that's been so gratifying. And it is especially gratifying to know that in this day and age, here in the state of Alabama, that a message of inclusiveness, a message of equality, a message of dignity and respect, and importantly, messages of issues that really are at the end of the day, those issues that people care about, the kitchen table issues that we've talked about, that you guys have heard me preach about over and over. It has been an amazing night for us. It has been an amazing day today. I have received calls from so many well-wishers of friends and family, but also future colleagues in Washington on both sides of the aisle. I have received calls from Democratic senators. I've received calls from my longtime friend, Senator Shelby, Leader McConnell, Leader Schumer, and calls from the President of the United States, President Trump, all very gracious, congratulating us on the way we have run this race, the way we portrayed ourselves in the campaign, and all expressing a desire to look forward together to try to work for the betterment of the state of Alabama and this country, to do as we have said from the very beginning of this campaign, to try to find common ground so that we can move forward. And so I very much appreciate all of those senators and the President for reaching out to me today. It's very heartwarming and gratifying. And now the process begins of trying to get a transition. And by the way, one of the calls I received last night, I should have said this a moment ago. One of the first calls I received last night was from an old friend, Senator Luther Strange. He left a message. I returned that call, as I knew he would be, very gracious as well, congratulating me, telling me how proud he was of the campaign that we ran. And working together to try to start a transition for us to move into that office, to build our staff, and to start working, to continuing the work for the people of the state of Alabama. So with that, I'm going to try to field a few questions here and try to figure out the best way to do it. I see my old friend there in the blue tie with his little hand raised, so I'll go to you first. Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Jones, congratulations.
Thank you.
Have you spoken with Roy Moore?
I have not.
You think that you should concede?
I'm going to leave that to him. I think that as most people, including the President, believe that the people of Alabama spoke. And after elections, it's a time for healing. It's a time for reaching out. That's what I intend to do once I can be sworn in. I have told people that I'm going to try to be accessible, to do town halls, to try to reach out. I know that this was a close vote and that this state, if you just look at the numbers, one would consider it to still be divided. I don't believe that that is going to be the case, and so I'm going to reach out. So I'm going to let him make that decision. Let's just kind of move this way a little bit. Yes, in the back. I think this is Alabama issues. Now, to some extent, and we've talked about this, I think Alabama issues are the same as around the country in terms of jobs and education, particularly health care. I think the CHIPS program that I mentioned last night is an issue that crosses political lines, and it crosses from one state to the other. But at the end of the day, this has been an Alabama race. This is a race that we have focused on in the state of Alabama, and we have talked straight to the people of the state of Alabama about my record and about the issues that they care about. And that's how we've seen it, and that's how I will continue to see it, because my job is really to represent the folks in the states.